Hey guys, welcome back to the family. Welcome back to the family. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to What Remains of Edith Finch. So previously we just finished Sam's story. It's very sad. He took his daughter Dawn out hunting, and yeah, it was just brutal. Anyway, we're going to carry on. So we're in Sam's room at the moment. So I wonder if there's anything exciting in here. Kay. Wonder who Kay was. That was never mentioned. Alright,
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Okay, I can't go through there. Do I just leave the way I came? No, I go this way.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
So now we're in Gregory's room. Gregory, Dawn. That was like some sort of military barracks. Brutal.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Awesome.
Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Better go and get that phone, mother.
Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Little rubber duckies. Too many rubber duckies.
He reminded me so much of Calvin.
Woohoo! This is so... Oh, look at all the toys in the bath.
Whatever it was, he saw.
Alright, let's see if we can get a big whale.
It sure made him
Yes! Whoosh. Love all the toys in the bath. I used to love toys in the bath, so it was awesome. Oh! Oh yeah, we got it, yeah. What is happening?
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy.
Woo!
But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything.
How did all of these toys get in the bath, Gregory? Riddle me this.
Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
this is really sad.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy.
Poor little Gregory.
To be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
That's a sad one. I think anything to do with kids is sad, really, to be honest.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem?
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of
The
it,
way they tell
though
this
he'd
story
never
is
met me.
incredible.
We don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Little shit. Little shit. This is cool.
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power, but all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Oh, that's really sad too. So yeah, boy, these kids they don't last very long. Right.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
And there's a climbing wall to
At the
get up
time,
here.
it was as far away as she could get.
Amazing.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Oh, so this is that little turret bit.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Have a child, put a room on. I love it. That'd be so cool just to like build a house.
For a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Wow.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
This is so cool.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oh, that's so cool. You could paint the world. Well, that's buzzy. So his magic paintbrush could actually paint. That's cool. Wow.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Now I have to go the other way, and there's no sprint. There's no sprint, there's no climbing up walls, there's no double jumping. No, that's fine.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Lewis.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room, except Lewis.
Lewis wanted me to come in and smoke a weed. What a cool house. He literally lives on a boat. On a boat, on top of a house. Oh, no, I do want to open that. Right, let's head into Lewis's room.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
What did his mind begin to do?
wander.
Huh.
I asked him to describe it.
Well, what you can see. So you have to do two things at once.
Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names.
Scary.
He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
This is so confusing.
But he found something more.
What did he find?
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
So I'm controlling the
So I let him
story
go
with
on.
one toggle, and then I'm chopping the heads off the fish with another
even
one. It's
encouraged.
very confusing. I think
It seemed
dramas will
very
be good at
promising
this.
at first.
Oh, it's taking over more and more of my vision.
He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Toby. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
Louis. Love it. Lewis
He
Town.
started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot
Minneapolis.
to go home from the
Perfect.
cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Come on, Mum, I just want to sail my boat and cut my fish.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumours of a handsome queen.
Handsome queen.
The queen was on her own quest for
Sinister serpents.
sinister serpents.
Whoa! Whoosh, whoosh. Don't worry. I'll save you.
He followed the sound of her
Oh, her electric guitar. Playing some Slayer.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Right, let
Even
me see
then,
what's
his
inside this
logic
golden
remained
palace.
sound.
I can't even see what I'm doing now.
He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
God. He'd become a god.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Whoa, where am I now? I'm in the cannery, I think. Oh yeah, this is my locker. Definitely.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
I think this is Lewis up here.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him,
Poor old Lewis.
even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
We've all been there in those menial jobs day after day.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
All we want to be is somewhere else. It's what? Yeah, guys. They just take you to a world that you can just not imagine.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Oh, look at this sweet cat. Molly. Look at this faceless crowd. Scary. Whew.
was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
I don't want to. Don't make me do it.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Brutal. So what, did he throw himself into that?
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
So he threw himself into the machine that he was using to cut the fish, the saw. That is brutal. Alright guys, well I reckon we're gonna leave it here. We've been through quite a lot today. It's been quite a heavy episode, so I think we'll call it here. Like always, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today. And if you enjoyed this, a like and a comment would really help me. So, we'll catch you next time. Ciao.